This is Annapolis Week on MarylandReporter.com. I'm Len Lazarick, and with me today is House Majority Leader Kumar Barve of Montgomery County. In addition to being Majority Leader, Kumar also serves on the House Ways and Means Committee and its key Revenue Subcommittee. Thanks very much for being here.
Pleasure to be here.
So the Revenue Subcommittee is the one that all the tax bills go to, and
that's right. That's the euphemism. It's called revenue.
Right, and anybody in the House can submit a tax bill,
and it seems like a lot of them have. So
right, no, every kind of tax imaginable has been proposed.
Pretty much.
What might actually get passed?
Well, very little. You know, the thing is that the governor submitted a balanced budget that was balanced without tax increases, and so there's not a great deal of pressure to increase taxes. I imagine the only taxes that might be considered might be the alcohol tax, because it hasn't been altered. I think one half of the alcohol tax was increased during the Eisenhower administration, and the other part was increased during the Nixon administration, a kind of an homage to the Ike, Dick Nixon team, I guess. But in any case, it's been a while, and I expect some sort of an increase, but it's not going to be I would be very surprised.
Not the dime a drink.
I would really doubt that, because that would be a dramatic increase in the alcohol tax, and I tend to think that's not going to happen.
I've heard some speculation on the Senate side of possibly a special sales tax on alcohol, the way apparently the District of Columbia has. Have you heard any kind of?
Yeah, I've heard that, and we'll just have to see. I mean, obviously, what they are thinking is that they don't want. They're thinking that if our rates are similar to that of the District of Columbia, which is also one of the lowest in the nation with Maryland, that it wouldn't have a negative competitive effect between Maryland, for Maryland distributors and wholesalers and retailers. So that's the way they're thinking. We'll have to see. I mean,
a lot of people have gotten behind a gas tax increase this session, and particularly it's about the only tax that business groups really do support. Mm-hmm. You don't think that's going to happen?
I tend to think not. To begin with, the price of gasoline has gone up pretty dramatically recently. And the fact is that, you know, to do something like this, you have to have more than just cursory support from the people who are in favor of it. You need to have aggressive, enthusiastic support from, you know, the governor and from the business community. And we don't really, you know, we see a lot of people saying that we'd be happy for you to do it and it would benefit us all. But I tend to think it's not going to happen this year.
And snack tax, that's another idea floating around?
Well, it's floating around, but I really haven't heard anybody talking about that, because although people don't want to encourage the consumption of Fritos and you know, sugary drinks, nobody wants to really tax them, because there's a feeling, and I think it's a reasonable one, that it's a rather regressive type of tax. So I haven't heard a great deal of enthusiasm for it either. Again, let me just emphasize, the budget is balanced without any major tax increase. And the revenue, the idea of a tax increase for transportation has some merit in that the Transportation Trust Fund has been depleted for well over a decade. You know, both governors of both political parties have used money in the Transportation Trust Fund to help balance the budget. And so there's some merit there.
When people actually see the budget, and if there are more cuts from the House, might there be more pressure for other kinds of taxes, or
would there be more? Yes. Would the pressure be sufficient for something to happen? I tend to doubt it.
All right. Well, thanks very much for being with us today.
Not at all. Thank you.
And this is Annapolis Week on MarylandReporter.com.